Hey guys, new video here talking about the new self curse. So the purposeful Harvey stuff was nerfed for like the super juicer builds, and so now we're back to self curse. Okay, it's still just as good as ever. But I got a lot of questions on stream, like what kind of percentages do we need? What should I get? What kind of items has anything changed? And actually, if you watch my older videos, it's exactly the same, except for the curse effect and the ways that you're gonna get 175% curse effect with the solstice. So I'm just gonna first say that if you are going to use self curse, I highly recommend that you just use the solstice version. I'm not gonna talk about variances or varieties of self curse when you're not going to use one, because it is like super annoying and I personally do not find it worth doing. So we are assuming that any situation we talk about self curse juicing, really like blowing through the maps like a massive character with the headhunter and everything, we are going to be using a solstice version. So TLDR, you need 175% curse effect now with the solstice. Okay, before you barely needed any. It was like what, 45? But yeah, now you need 175. So you might be like, what the hell, how do you get that? Well, it's not that hard actually. So the way that you're going to get it, okay, is you are going to get you can eat. I would recommend getting voices, but you could technically go other means like large cluster jewels with jewel sockets if you want to spread your tree a little bit and be a little bit more jank. But really, it's recommended to get the voices, because then you get the 3 jewel sockets. And in the 3 jewel sockets, what you are looking for is number one of those things should be dark disclosure, because that's 10% for one node. There is a hinder on you, so you have to fix that. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So each of these jewels, it's a medium cluster jewel, and it has to have the implicit 5% increased effect of your curses, right? Pretty nice. That's all the passive skills. And then dark disclosure also mandatory. Now, the other thing is that if you get the passive skills have 25% increased curse effect right here, what you're going to have is you're going to have 6% instead of 5%. You can see right here 6%, even though the implicit says 5%. And if you get a 35%, it doesn't actually work, because it's still going to be 6%, because I think it's 6.75. In PoE, almost everything rounds downwards. So just get the 25% dark disclosure. Something like this is fine. What you're going to want is like something exactly like this. Like this is like the basics, I guess. Like this jewel right here is the basics, okay? And then also you have things like this one, right? If you look right here on this one, it's like I have a jewel socket, and the jewel socket doesn't really matter. Jewel socket's kind of cool. You can put in like Watcher's Eyes, you can put in whatever else you want. But like the jewel socket is okay if you need it for something, because you're probably going to be over capped, okay? And so what I mean by that, well, if you look at how much is here, right? So you have 5 times 6, that's 30, and then this one, dark disclosure, is mandatory, so you get 40. So 40, and imagine at all of them, that's 40, 40, 40, 120. 120 plus a helm enchant is 150, right? Because the helm enchant 30%, they're like actually pretty cheap now. So that's 150. Well, where else are you gonna get that? Because you need 175, right? Well, the gem itself, okay, where is it? Curse on hit, with a 20% quality. It doesn't have to be awakened, but awaken is pretty good. 20% quality gives you 10%. If you have a 23% quality, that's 11%. So let's say we have 150, we add on the 10, that's 160. Where can we get the other 15? The other 15 can be gotten with there is a node called skittering runes, I think. Where is it? Where is that bad boy? I think it's right here. Skittering runes. That's what I have enchanted right now. So then that'd be 175, right? Now, also, look at this. I have Hexmaster too, so I'm like a little bit overcapped, I think. But Hexmaster is nice because you can either anoint Hexmaster or Skittering, depending on what's like better for your pathing and like what you want to go with your next points and stuff. So if you look right here, Hexmaster is really good, not only because when you go up to it, see you have like 10% curse effect right here, 5%, 5%, that's 10%, but it's the 80% increased skill effect, because like if you're looting too much, you could drop the temporal chains on yourself and all your buffs start expiring really fast. So you gotta keep the temp chains on yourself while you're moving pack to pack and looting. And Hexmaster, 80% skill effectuation, it really helps with that. So that's why I went over here. But once again, you can anoint either Hexmaster or Skittering runes down here depending on what you need, okay? So super easy to get 175 as long as you get 3 of these jewels. I don't think these are as even as expensive as like the Purposeful Harvey, like the Heraldry jewels, right, that all the Jardians are using. But yeah, that's kind of the setup right here. So I'm gonna just mouse over you. I'm gonna mouse over the jewels here, right? Once again, this is like the basic one, the very basic. You get some of these and you are all good. You can just search for this on Pee-wee Trade. But I'm gonna mouse over because people are gonna ask like, what are your other things? Like I have some extra stuff on here, but it doesn't even matter at all, right? So here you go. Now I will talk about some other stuff because I said I'd talk about this earlier. So this right here, enemies you curse are hindered. So the moment that the lightning strike from the Herald of Thunder hits the enemy, the hinder will apply, and you're gonna notice this at the beginning of the map. You can't outrun this by stealing more mods, but it is super annoying. So you need to get some kind of jewel that has a corrupted implicit that says you cannot be hindered, okay? And it'll completely negate this because you're immune to the hinder, okay? You have to get that. Highly recommend. Other things is, if you want to go full potato mode and you don't want to do this, you could socket a Glorious Venite and get 15% curse effect nodes. A good place is like right here, maybe like right here, maybe like in here, I don't even know. But you can use a Glorious because there's I believe the node is called like Hexmaster or something like that, and is it class? I don't even know, but it's 15% curse effect, up to 15% curse effect. I won't always roll that, but you can get that on each noticeable that encompasses the circle, and you could do that. Don't recommend that though, because this setup is so much easier. And I'm not gonna talk too much about curse the setup, because like you should watch my previous videos about curse. It's the same items: Shackles the Wretched, Combs Roots, Helm enchant with the curse effect. And that's about it, and it works really well. Still, it is very powerful. It does not take too much juice, and the good thing about this curse effect is because you're getting so much natural curse effect that if you use other curses like on your rings, like wherever else, those curses usually like, unless it's like Temp Changer and Feeble or something, usually the other curses don't have like a cap. So like if you have 100% curse effect and you hit somebody with an Assassin's Mark or a or like an Ally Weakness or whatever you have, those curses are actually buffed by like that much. So it's pretty cool, right? And yeah, so that's the new curse effect. That's what you should get 175 with a Solstice, and so many ways to get that. And if you guys have any other questions, I stream every day on Twitch, you guys can ask me there. Okay, thank you guys for watching my video. Okay, bye guys, bye.